Today we're going to do the pronoun antecedent agreement practice. You should have learned the 6 rules for pronoun antecedent agreement, and now we're going to apply what we've learned. We're starting with rule number 1. A pronoun must agree with its antecedent in person, first, second, or third, gender, feminine, masculine, or neutral, and number, singular or plural. The antecedent, remember, is the noun that the pronoun is replacing. For example, Mrs. Connor and Miss Betts love food, so they will bring it in for the student who does the best on the post test. So here we have a plural antecedent, 2 people, so our pronoun is they. Let's take a look at some examples in our practice. We're going to highlight the antecedent, the thing that's being replaced by the pronoun. Number 1, the garlic bread was eaten before it was set on the table. What is it replacing? The garlic bread. That is our antecedent. Italian food is something Mrs. Connor can no longer eat now that she is gluten intolerant. We have 2 here. Italian food is something Mrs. Connor can no longer eat now that she... Here we have 2 nouns being replaced by pronouns. They're both singular. And the last one, Miss Betts loves pasta. She eats it whenever she can. Here, she is replacing Miss Betts, and it is replacing pasta. So now we have correctly identified our antecedents. So it is referring to the garlic bread. Something is referring back to food. She is referring back to Mrs. Connor. She is referring back to Betts, and it is referring back to pasta. Let's move on to rule number 2. When and is used in the antecedent, the pronoun should be plural. For example, the puppy and the kitten have destroyed their owner's sofa. So here, the puppy and kitten are together. This is now plural for our antecedent because there are 2 animals that we're discussing. So there is going to be what replaces this because we have, again, a plural antecedent. So Mrs. Connor and Miss Betts love to eat cheese and laugh together. Blank have the best time. We have 2 people that we're referring back to, so we're going to use they. Cheese and grapes go so well together, and blank are great with crackers. Again, 2 working together as a plural antecedent, they. The students and teachers would love to have better food for blank lunches. Again, this is a plural antecedent, there. Make sure you're using a possessive pronoun here for number 3. Alright, let's move on to rule number 3. When each or every comes before 2 things, joined by and, the pronoun should be singular. So, for this one, when we're saying each one puppy and each one kitten by itself, okay, destroys its owner's sofa. It's because it refers back to each one individually, right? So that's why we have a singular pronoun when we see each. It's because we're referring back to each one by itself. Even if you have a huge list, each, puppy, kitten, rabbit, tarantula, python, parrot, iguana, and ferret, destroys, I'm referring back to each individual one, its owner's sofa. Referring back to the puppy, it. Referring back to just the kitten, it. Referring back to just the rabbit, it. So when you see each, that is going to be singular. So let's take a look. Every student and teacher loves blank classes. Every one student and every one teacher loves, well, this is going to include a mix of genders. So here, loves his or her classes. Each one iPad and each one computer stops. Okay, this doesn't have a gender. We need third person, gender neutral, singular pronoun, its. Each and every one fan and one window blows. Again, it's. Hot air around the school. We have singular antecedents when we have every or each listed before. So that is section 3. Let's take a look at rule number 4. When using either or and neither nor, the pronoun is singular. So just like each and every, if I say either this one person or this one person, again, singular. So either Mrs. Connor, singular, or, not both, this or this one thing. This one thing or this one thing. Or, singular, one, Miss Betts brings chocolate in. Now, Mrs. Connor and Miss Betts, both feminine, so it's safe to use a feminine pronoun here. So we need a singular, third person, possessive pronoun, her. Okay, so let's keep looking. Either Dr. Martell, singular, or Miss Stanich, either this one person or this one person, will come to the assembly to introduce blank favorite speaker. Now again, we know both of these nouns, both of these proper nouns are feminine, so it's safe to use her. Either Miss Betts, singular, or Miss Connor, singular, will want blank favorite candy for Halloween. Both of these are singular. Again, both of our proper nouns are feminine, so it's safe to use, again, her. Neither Miss Woodward nor Mrs. Maxon will want, again, neither this one person or this one person. Again, both are feminine, so we can put her. Now, if one of these had been a masculine pronoun, so if it said neither Miss Woodward nor, for example, Mr. Searles, then we would need his or her to represent both genders. And that's rule number 4. Let's take a look at 5, indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns are pronouns that we're using as a subject, as a noun, and they refer to someone that we don't know really who it is. Someone, everyone, anybody, somebody, no one. So these are singular, and they are going to use his or her because we don't know which gender it's referring to when it's indefinite because it's unsure. So everyone needs to bring his or her materials to class. No one person was late to his or her class today. Someone was able to sneak his or her hamster into school. Nobody, no one body, ignores Miss Betts' high fives when he or she walks into class. So when you see one in the word, someone, anyone, no one, it's singular. Let's give it a go. Anyone who loves food knows blank limit, but sometimes goes past it. Knows everyone, any one, singular. Can it be there? No, that's plural. Knows his or her. No one likes to eat blank vegetables, but blank should anyway. No one person. His or her. But he or she should anyway. Somebody, some one person in this class should bring his or her favorite dish to share with everyone. Alright, last section, which is rule number 6, collective nouns. Collective nouns are groups of items working together as one singular unit. For example, the team won its first game. How many teams are we talking about? 1, so it's singular. The class aced its post-test. How many classes? 1, singular. The army defeated its enemy. How many armies? One, singular. So even though there's multiple people on the team, even though there's multiple people in the class, even though there's multiple members in the army, it's functioning as one unit. So it is singular. That's what a collective noun is. Now, if I said the teams, now it's plural. So then I would put there, because I have two. But if I'm talking about one team, then that is singular. Okay, let's take a look. The colony of ants tried to ruin our picnic, but blank stopped before it got to us. The colony of ants. Again, even though we see ants and it's plural, these are part of the colonies. How many colonies? One. The colony, it stopped. Did you know a group of geese is called a gaggle? A gaggle of geese ran to take our pizza, but we didn't let... How many gaggles of geese? One. The last one. Miss Betts had a bouquet of flowers, but she was allergic to blank, so she got cheeseburgers instead. How many bouquets? One. Even though this says flowers and it's plural, it's part of the bouquet, and it's functioning as one unit, which makes it singular. Okay, so that's a practice of the 6 rules for choosing pronouns to replace antecedents. If you need an extra review, feel free to go to the YouTube channel. And on the YouTube channel, there is a lesson to go over just pronoun antecedent again in more detail. All right, thanks for joining.